Welcome back to Simple English Stories. Thank you for listening. This channel is for English learners who want to improve their listening with slow, clear, simple English. Every story is about one person and one ordinary day in their life. Today we meet a new character. Her name is Lena. She is a chef. She works in a small restaurant, and every day she creates something delicious from simple ingredients. This is the story of her day. Make yourself comfortable, and let's begin. My name is Lena. I am 29 years old. I am a chef. I work at a small restaurant called The Fig Tree. It has 12 tables, warm orange walls, and candles on every table in the evening. I love this restaurant. It feels like a home that feeds people. I start work at 8 in the morning, so I wake up at 6. 6 o'clock is early, but I am used to it. Chefs wake up early. We go to sleep late. This is the life of the kitchen. I open my eyes. My bedroom is dark. The curtains are thick and brown. I lie still for 30 seconds, not more. Then I sit up. I put my feet on the cold wooden floor. I stand. I go to the bathroom. I wash my face. I brush my teeth. I tie my hair back in a high ponytail, long and tight, away from my face. In the kitchen, loose hair is dangerous. It can fall into the food. My ponytail is part of my uniform. I look in the mirror. My face is awake. My eyes are already thinking about food. On Tuesdays and Fridays, I do not go straight to the restaurant. I go to the market first. Today is Friday. The market starts at 6:30. I dress quickly. Dark jeans, a white t-shirt, a gray hoodie, and my old white trainers. I pick up my big canvas bag. It is strong and wide, perfect for carrying vegetables. I walk to the market. It is 15 minutes from my flat. The streets are quiet at this hour. The air smells of morning, cool and clean. A few delivery vans pass me. A man sweeps the pavement outside a shop. 2 pigeons fight over a chip on the pavement. The market is at the end of a long street near the river. When I turn the corner, I can already smell it. Earth and wet leaves and something sweet, like strawberries. The market is already busy. The stalls are full of color. Green spinach and dark kale. Orange carrots and red peppers. Purple aubergines and yellow courgettes. White mushrooms and brown onions. Baskets of fresh herbs. Parsley, thyme, rosemary, basil. I walk slowly. I touch the vegetables. I smell the herbs. I look carefully at everything before I decide. A good chef does not buy the first thing she sees. She looks, she thinks, she chooses. I stop at my favorite stall. The man behind it is called Giuseppe. He is Italian, 60 years old, with a big white mustache and very loud opinions about vegetables. "Lena," he shouts when he sees me. "The tomatoes today, magnificent. Look at the color. Look at the size. Perfect." I pick up a tomato. It is heavy and deep red. I smell it. Rich, warm, earthy. "These are good, Giuseppe," I say. "Good?" He looks offended. "These are extraordinary." I laugh. "I will take 2 kilos. He beams. I also buy a bunch of fresh basil, 4 courgettes, a bag of spinach, some small waxy potatoes, a head of garlic, and 2 lemons. Everything goes into my canvas bag. It is heavy now. Good heavy. I arrive at the Fig Tree at 8 o'clock. I use my key to open the back door, the kitchen door. The restaurant is dark and quiet. The chairs are still upside down on the tables. It smells of last night. A little garlic, a little wine, warm bread. I turn on the kitchen lights. The kitchen comes alive. Bright white light, stainless steel surfaces, the big stove with 6 burners, the long wooden chopping board, the rack of sharp knives. I put on my chef's jacket. It is white with short sleeves and my name embroidered on the left side, Lena. I put on my apron, dark blue, long. I wash my hands for 20 seconds. This is always the first thing in the kitchen, always. I make a quick coffee with the small machine in the corner of the kitchen. I drink it standing up, looking at my prep list. The prep list is everything I need to do before the restaurant opens at 12. Soup, pasta dough, 2 sauces, vegetable prep, dessert components. A long list. A good list. I like a long list. It means a full day. At 8:30, my kitchen assistant arrives. His name is Tom. He is 22 years old, quiet, and very hardworking. He does not talk much in the morning, which I appreciate. The kitchen in the morning needs quiet. It needs focus. Morning, Lena. Morning, Tom. Hands first. Then start on the onions. I need 30, finely chopped. He nods. He washes his hands. He starts on the onions. I start on the soup. Today's soup is a roasted red pepper soup. First, I cut the peppers in half and put them in the oven with olive oil, salt, and a little garlic. While they roast, I prepare the stock. Then I will blend everything together. Smooth, silky, deep red. A little cream at the end, some fresh herbs on top. I work quickly and calmly. My hands know what to do. After 10 years in kitchens, my hands think for themselves. I make the pasta dough next. Flour, eggs, a little olive oil, a pinch of salt. I mix it with my hands. I feel the dough. It needs to be smooth and elastic, not too soft, not too stiff. I knead it for 8 minutes. Then I wrap it in film and put it in the refrigerator to rest. While the dough rests, I make the tomato sauce. Giuseppe's tomatoes go into the pan with garlic and olive oil. I add a little sugar, just a pinch, to balance the acidity. Fresh basil at the end. The kitchen fills with the smell of tomatoes cooking. It is one of the best smells in the world. Tom finishes the onions. I give him the next job, washing and trimming the spinach, then slicing the courgettes very thin, like paper. Very thin, Tom, like paper. Like paper, he repeats. At 10:30, the soup is ready. I take a clean spoon and taste it. I close my eyes when I taste. This is a habit from my training. When you close your eyes, you listen better, to the flavor, to what it needs, to what it already has. The soup is good, smoky from the roasted peppers, rich, a little sweet, but it needs something. I taste again. Salt, just a little more, and a squeeze of lemon. I add both. I taste again. Yes, now it is right. Tom comes to taste too. I give him a small spoon. He thinks carefully. It is really good, he says. What do you think it needed? I ask. He thinks again. The lemon, he says. It brightens it. Good, I say. Remember that. Acid brightens, salt deepens. He writes this in the small notebook he keeps in his apron pocket. I like that he writes things down. A good chef always keeps learning. The restaurant opens at 12. At 11:45, I stand in the kitchen and look around. Everything is ready. The soup is warm, the pasta dough is rolled and cut, the sauces are made. The desserts, small chocolate pots with a soft center, are in the refrigerator. The vegetables are prepared and waiting. I feel the feeling I always feel before service begins. A calm excitement, like the moment before music starts. The first orders come in at 12:15. The kitchen wakes up completely. Tom is beside me, moving fast and quietly. I call out the orders. 2 soups, 1 pasta, table 4, and we move, cook, plate, send. Cooking during service is different from cooking during prep. Prep is slow and thoughtful. Service is fast and focused. There is no time to think too much. Your hands know. Your instincts know. You trust them. I plate a bowl of soup carefully. A circle of deep red, smooth and glossy. A swirl of white cream. 3 basil leaves, fresh, bright green. A little black pepper. I look at it for 1 second. Good. I send it. The pasta comes next. I toss the fresh pasta in the tomato sauce. Just 30 seconds in the pan, the pasta absorbing the sauce, everything becoming one. I plate it in a wide bowl, a little Parmesan grated on top, a drizzle of good olive oil, 2 basil leaves. It goes out. 2 minutes later, the waiter, a young woman called Petra, comes back. Table 6 says the pasta is the best they have ever eaten. I nod. I do not smile. There is no time. But inside, something warm and good happens. Part 7. The break. Service ends at 2:30. The last table leaves. The kitchen is quiet again, dirty now, full of used pans and chopping boards, and the good smell of a meal well made. Tom and I eat together at the small table in the corner of the kitchen. We always eat what is left from service. Today it is pasta and soup and a small chocolate pot each. We eat quickly and quietly. We are very hungry. Chefs cook all day and forget to eat. Good service, I say. Yes, says Tom. He has already nearly finished his pasta. After eating, we clean the kitchen together. Every surface wiped, every pan washed, the floor swept and mopped. A clean kitchen is a respectful kitchen. This is something my first chef teacher told me. I have never forgotten it. Part 8. The afternoon preparation. At 4 o'clock, evening preparation begins. The dinner menu is different from lunch, more complex, more detailed. I plan the evening dishes in the morning, but the real work happens now. Today for dinner, I am making a lamb dish with roasted root vegetables and a red wine sauce. The lamb needs to marinate for 2 hours. Olive oil, rosemary, garlic, lemon zest. I prepare it carefully. The smell of rosemary and garlic fills the kitchen. I also prepare a fish dish, sea bass with courgette and a light lemon butter sauce. The courgettes that Tom sliced like paper this morning, they are perfect for this. I arrange them on a tray and put them in the oven for a few minutes. They come out golden and soft. The evening dessert is a lemon tart. I make the pastry first. Cold butter, flour, sugar, egg yolk. I press it into the tart tin. Then the lemon filling. Eggs, sugar, cream, lemon juice, lemon zest. I pour it in and put it in the oven on a low heat. 40 minutes. The kitchen smells of lemon and butter and warmth. Part 9. Evening service. Evening service starts at 6:30. The restaurant fills with people. Couples, families, friends. The candles are lit on every table. The warm orange walls glow. Outside the window, the city is dark and full of lights. In the kitchen, we are 3 now. Tom, me, and a second cook called Rosa, who comes only for evenings. We work like one person. Quiet, fast, coordinated. I do not need to shout. A good kitchen does not need shouting. The orders come in. The lamb goes out, dark and fragrant with the red wine sauce pooled around it, the root vegetables golden and caramelized. The sea bass goes out, white and delicate on the golden courgettes, a little sauce shining beside it. At 8 o'clock, Petra comes to the kitchen with a message. The couple at table 3, it is their wedding anniversary. They asked me to tell the chef that the meal is the most beautiful they have had in years. I stop. I breathe. I look up from the stove. Thank you, I say quietly. I go back to cooking, but I carry those words with me for the rest of the evening. Part 10. The end of the day. Service ends at 10:30. The last guests leave slowly, reluctantly. A good sign. The restaurant goes quiet. The candles burn low. We clean the kitchen one final time. Everything washed, put away, covered, stored. The stove scrubbed, the surfaces clean, the floor mopped. Tom goes home first, then Rosa. I stay until the kitchen is completely ready for tomorrow. I take off my chef's jacket. I take off my apron. I wash my hands one last time. I look at the clean, empty kitchen. I turn off the lights. I lock the kitchen door. I walk home. It is 11 o'clock. The streets are dark and quiet. My feet hurt. My hands smell of rosemary and lemon. My mind is finally empty. No more orders, no more timings, no more flavors to think about. Just the cool night air and the quiet street. I arrive home. I do not cook, not tonight. I make a simple sandwich and a cup of chamomile tea. I sit on my sofa and eat and drink slowly. I think about the couple at table 3. their anniversary dinner, the most beautiful meal in years. This is why I cook. Not for the compliments, but for this: the feeling that food can make a moment special. That a bowl of soup or a plate of pasta or a piece of lemon tart can make two people feel, just for an evening, that the world is a good and beautiful place. I finish my tea, I go to bed. Tomorrow, the market opens at 6:30. I cannot wait. The end. Thank you for listening to Lena's story. If this story helped your English, please like the video and subscribe for a new story every week. Leave a comment below. What is your favorite food? Write it in English. See you in the next story. Goodbye.